I don't know if you can hear it or not, but the wind is really howling tonight. It's literally shaking the van. I had to put away all my solar panels and my rug and chair and Riley's stroller because they were blowing everywhere, and there's lots and lots of dust blowing around. Good morning. So last night was my 4th night in Quartzsite, and I think it took me 7 days to get here. I don't even know what day it is of this journey. But yesterday, a couple friends and I haven't had coffee yet, so excuse me. I'm trying to drink some water because I'm so dehydrated. And you can probably hear my water cooking. My coffee cooking. But yesterday, 3 friends of mine and I went to Yuma because I had never been to Yuma and I wanted to see it. And a friend of mine from church her parents live there, so she knows a lot about it. And I asked her, where we should go and what we should see. So she told us about a diner that we went to. But first we went to Planet Fitness, the 4 of us, and we all took showers, which were really nice and hot. And anyway, if you want to know my Planet Fitness saga, go back to the last video. And by the way, my husband ended up having to make a payment, not with our health savings account, just to make sure I could take a shower because they still don't have the billing situation worked out. So anyway, I took my very expensive shower, and then we went to this really neat restaurant. They were known for hamburgers. I didn't have a hamburger. I had a salad, which I regretted later because it wore off quickly. So anyway, the atmosphere was cool, and we had a good time, and it was good. Let me turn off my coffee pot so it doesn't use my extra watts. Sorry about that. So lunch was good, and then there was this like little downtown area where we walked around a little bit, and then one of my friends is traveling with a cat, and she walked her cat because where we were parked there was a little bit of grass, which grass out here is almost non-existent. So I took advantage and I walked Riley in the grass. She walked her cat in the grass. We walked around to just stretch our legs and see a little bit of the area. And then we were, oh, and then another friend of mine who was with me, she's a quilter too. And I have a goal to see a quilt shop, at least one in every state. Well, I hadn't seen Arizona yet, and I haven't seen New Mexico, so I got to fix the New Mexico one. But we looked up this little quilt shop, and we all met there so we could kind of caravan on the way back, because we wanted to be back to camp before dark, because these roads are kind of treacherous, and, well, not treacherous, but they're very, very bumpy. There's a lot of potholes, there's a lot of rocks, and it's not something that you want to deal with after dark. So we didn't want to have to get left outside the camp, because there's really no stealth camping places here besides the BLM land. And, you know, we try to be as safe as we can. So we wanted to get back before dark. And at one point I was leading. Well, one girl was leading, and then they were taking wrong turns, and they pulled over, and then I waited for them to come back around, and then I put the GPS on, and I use the GPS on my phone, and it has gotten me in so much trouble. So anyway, I didn't look real good at the path. I think we went there on Highway 95, which was a two-lane road, and I'll share some footage of that. It was nice. It was quiet, but it didn't seem dangerous. So when the people behind me got lost at a stoplight or a red light, so I just kind of kept going, and I thought, well, we all have GPSs anyway. And all the way out here from Florida to Arizona, we have purposely not followed each other because it can get dangerous. Just the stopping and starting and waiting, who's behind you and everything. So the rule of the caravan kind of is everybody knows where to go, and you just meet up. And that way, you know, if you can run errands or make stops if you want to, and we all just end up at the same place. So I thought, okay, well, I guess that's what we're doing now. And I'm driving along, and it doesn't look exactly like it did on the way in, and it was also close to heavy traffic time in the afternoon. And before you know it, I'm in California. And I pulled over, and I looked at my GPS, and now it's like an extra 20 minutes longer than the other way was supposed to be. And then I end up going through a border patrol security thing, because Mexico's right beside me. And anyway, I ended up going over these very, very, very remote mountains. There was nobody else out there. It was so scary. And the roads, they went up and they went down. It was the kind of thing that you went up this hill and you can't see what's on the other side, and you just pray the other person is in their lane if they're coming that way. And I had to go to the bathroom so bad. And of course I have a bathroom in my van, but I honestly didn't feel safe pulling over to even go, because it just wasn't safe. It was very, very, I don't even know how to explain to you how scary it was. And so I was thinking, you know, I'm glad those girls didn't end up following me, because hopefully they're on the safe road and I'm going to get through this. And at one point I called Kenny and I said, hey, I'm just letting you know I'm in California, and I'm not trying to be, and it's pretty remote out here, and I just wanted you to know. Well, he and I have the 360 app, so he looked at the app, and he goes, yeah. He goes, you're about as close to Mexico as you can get, and yeah, you're in California. So I didn't stay on the phone with him long because I was really scared, and I didn't want him to sense how scared I was. So I thought, I'm just going to put on my big girl pants, and I'm going to get through this. And I said, I'll check in with you later. And then at that point, I knew he could at least see where I was on 360. And I also didn't call the other girls in the group. We have each other's numbers, and we were on a group text. And I thought, well, they're going to get there before I am, and hopefully they're safe, and I won't add any extra stress to anybody's situation. So I'll just get through it. So I think I was on either Highway 30, 34, 35, and then went to 70 something, and then finally went to I-10. Anyway, it was scary. I don't recommend it. I wouldn't want anybody I cared about on that road by themselves. And thankfully, I got out of there. It took me about an hour and 45 minutes to get home, maybe more, because some of it was slow. And also the roads, none of the roads are good out here, but those roads are awful. And I could just feel the tread wearing down on my car. I'm like, ah. And the other thing is I had a low tire yesterday, and I'm going to be the first to admit I'm spoiled at home. Kenny fills up my gas for me, and he always checks my tires and everything, but I did check it, and I knew one of them was low. And thankfully I bit the bullet and filled it up yesterday before we made that trip. So it was not a good situation. I'm glad I got through it. And then I was about 10 minutes to Quartzsite, and one of the girls called me, and she goes, hey, are you okay? And I told her, she's actually the only one who ended up going back the way we came. And I says, I have been to California, and not by choice. And she said, well, I was wondering what happened to you. She said, do you want me to come meet you out in Quartzsite so you can follow me in? Because there's no, like, when you come out here to the desert, there's no road signs or markers or anything. But I had gone back yesterday myself when I did laundry and stuff, and I found my way pretty good. So I said, no, I've got it. And it was not quite dark. It was light enough for me to find my way, and I did find my way back, thankfully. Well, then I found out that one of the other girls who was already back, she ended up going back the California way too. And she was like, I kept thinking the cartel was going to get me. And I had told Kenny, and I'm just trying to make light of the situation. I had told him, I said, boy, if you ever wanted to kill someone, this would be the place to do it, because nobody would know or find you or find the person or whatever. So, and then we found out one of the other girls who was driving a motorhome, which goes slower, of course, than our vans, she wasn't back yet. And it was already dark, and we were all a little worried about that, and we were texting her. But last night, the phone service here was terrible, and I think it's because the WRTR started yesterday. The RTR starts in a few days, and this town is full. I mean, there's so many people here, and there's probably a lot of people like overpowering the phone towers and stuff. So anyway, we finally found from her. She did not make it to camp because of the road situation, but she was back in Quartzsite, and she's going to meet us this morning, because we're all going to the WRTR today, because Jan from the Butterfly Tracks is on one of the panels, so we're all going to go support her. And then I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm honestly thinking about going back soon. I've been gone 8 days. I'm homesick. I am tired of being dirty. I do get to shower, but there's so much dust blowing around this desert, and everything's dirty. Riley's white parts aren't white anymore. My van is a mess. Jan was going to do a van tour of my van, and I talked to her yesterday, and I'm like, my van is a wreck right now. In fact, I've lost Riley's food. It's in a Tupperware container here somewhere. I can't find it. I ripped the car apart yesterday. So last night he had a hamburger donated by a friend, and yesterday morning he had eggs from an Egg McMuffin. So anyway, I'm just getting tired and want to get out of the desert. I also want to see some of the things I haven't seen before. I want to go to Lake Havasu. I want to go to I don't want to spend a lot of time there, but I want to go to Sedona just to say I've been. Hi. I'm going to end this real quickly. I ran out of storage again. Riley accidentally broke my reader-writer box when he jumped on it today, and it was backing up stuff. The WRTR was good. It's winding like crazy, and everybody's in their vans huddled up because the sand is blowing everywhere. My van's literally shaking. I'm going to take a nap. Tomorrow should be better. I'm going to go ahead and end the video because I don't know how much, I had to delete a lot of stuff just to do this much. So anyway, before I can get another reader-writer box at a Walmart, which there's not one anywhere near me, I'm going to have to make do with what I have. So I'm going to get this loaded and hopefully get you caught up, and please come back to see what else happens, because it's not always butterflies and rainbows here. Just like at home, it's not. So we just make the best with what we have, but it's an adventure. I'm learning a lot. I'm meeting wonderful, wonderful people, and I will just try to fill you in what's going on. We did have lunch today at Silly Al's pizza place. It was really, really, really good. Best pizza I've had in a long time. Maybe because I was hungry and dirty and ready to get out of the sand. But anyway, please come back and hear what happens next time. Please like and subscribe, and thank you for being here.